Chris Walker, Emergency Preparedness Coordinator for the Hamilton County Health Department, joins me now. Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Numbers are looking good. Update us.
Yes, the numbers are down significantly on a daily basis over what they had been. Our peak after Thanksgiving was nearly 400 a day. Middle of week last week, we were down to about 230 or so. And I mean, it's quite an impressive drop off after the holiday season, which I think you and I had talked about. That was really going to be the litmus test for us getting through this and getting back. And, you know, things are starting to show in our positivity rate too. It's down to 10.8. You know, it was up, I believe, at 16 at one point. So we're making some very impressive progress very quickly.
And that positivity rate, we'd preferably like to see right around 5%, right?
Five or below is where we want to be. You know, we dropped low enough that we moved out of the red county status last Wednesday, but we still have to maintain those red protective measures. So limited capacities at restaurants, sporting events, and other types of public gatherings, things like that, for this week and next week, assuming we don't go back up, which right now it doesn't look like we will. Looks like we'll stay in the orange this week. So hopefully we'll be moving out of the red restrictions after next week.
Nice. What about vaccinations? How's that going?
Vaccinations are going well. We've seen a lot of demand from our older population here in the county. The really nice thing is the state's been able to provide us twice as much vaccine as we were receiving initially just 2 weeks ago. We've already doubled the number of vaccine we're getting, and we've doubled the capacity. We're looking at ramping up our capability to provide even more vaccine. We think very quickly we'll get to the point where right now we're providing about 1,200 a week. We think very quickly we'll be able to move up to 3,600 a week that we're providing at our site alone.
And that's all dependent on how much vaccine the state can get its hands on, correct?
That's absolutely right. I mean, I could vaccinate 5,000 a week, you know, if we had the vaccine to do it. We've got volunteers that are willing to step up and help. We've got our partners in fire EMS who are willing to step up and help. We've got our partners in the medical field that are willing to step up and help. The bottleneck right now is the amount of vaccine that we can get our hands on.
So last week we heard the governor and the State Department of Health say that we're going to stay at 70 and older right now in terms of who's eligible for the vaccine. I know they're anxious to get to 65 and older, but again, we're stuck on that availability of the vaccine.
That's right. And I think the reason that they're looking at staying in those older age groups is because that's where you see the most fatalities from contracting COVID-19. You know, there are some below 60, but when you look at the data, the number of deaths are generally those in those higher age populations. So that's what they're really focusing on when they're keeping those numbers the way they are.
So we keep hearing on social media and really everywhere this desire to get our teachers vaccinated, and that drum keeps beating louder and louder. Where are we with that? Any ideas?
Yeah, you know, and it's not just the teachers either. We hear from businesses that literally keep the lights on, that literally keep the roads working the way they do, that keep our businesses open, and that are essential workers as well. And for us, we are literally the end of the road for the vaccine. We don't get to say who gets vaccinated when or where. We literally the last stage of implementation of state and federal policy. So the feds have made their recommendation, the state's doing their recommendations based on the amount of vaccine they have, and then we are the ones that go out and ultimately implement their strategy for them.
So Wednesday night is a big night for us with the health department. You want to talk about the virtual town hall just a little bit? Sure.
So Wednesday night, I believe it's at 6 o'clock, right? That we're doing 6:30.
Yeah.
We're doing a virtual town hall on Facebook. We'll give a brief little overview for everybody. Then it's an opportunity for the public to sit and ask questions of us and be able to get their questions answered in real time, hopefully. So, I mean, I could see a spitball or get a question thrown to us that we're not ready for, that we might have to follow up on some way, but generally you ask a question, we'll be able to give you the answer right then and there.
We'll be looking forward to that. Anything else that we need to know or keep in mind as we head into the week ahead?
We're getting ready for second doses, for us to start administering second doses. The hospitals have been administering second doses for a while, so that's exciting. Folks have questions about where they fit into the vaccine strategy. We'd highly recommend they go to coronavirus.in.gov/vaccine. And the state has a nice file that they have available that just kind of lays it out, where people are at, where we're at right now. And, we need to continue. If we're sick, stay home. If we're not feeling well, to get tested, and, keep doing the things we've been doing. I mean, it's been a long, long year, but we're making that progress towards the end game here. So we just need to keep holding on for a little bit longer.
Great. Thanks, Chris. That's Chris Walker, Emergency Preparedness Coordinator for the Hamilton County Health Department. We'll check back next week.
Thank you, ma'am.